Hello, friends. People live in even the harshest parts of our planet, where it seems impossible to survive. The highlands of Asia and South America, the deserts of Africa, and the polar regions of the Northern Hemisphere. The natural conditions in these regions are simply unthinkable for an ordinary person. But the vast majority of the population can exist there only thanks to the incredibly hardy animals that have been living side by side with people for centuries. Thus, the yaks are vital animals in Tibet. When creating the yak, nature decided not to show much imagination and simply mixed the features of a bunch of different animals. It put the bull's head with its mighty horns against the humpbacked body of the bison, slightly rounded its sides, like in horses, attached a horse's tail at the back, and generously decorated everything with long goat hair. But the Joker did not stop there either, deciding that this wonderful creation deserved its own unique voice. Or maybe it should grunt like a pig. No sooner said than done, and thus appeared this amazing representative of the genus of bulls, which doesn't only have a rather peculiar appearance, but also a very interesting disposition. It's a known fact that the higher in the mountains people or animals climb, the worse they feel. The head hurts, the pressure spikes, the heart is about to jump out of the chest, and there is absolutely no desire to eat. All one can think about is getting a deep breath of fresh air. However, yaks only get happier with each new climb, and they don't complain about their appetite either. It's only a pity that there aren't that many plants on the rocky edges. Tibet is considered the birthplace of these interesting animals. There, the wild yaks live at an altitude of 4.3 thousand meters in the winter to 6.1 thousand meters in the summer. They cannot stand living near people, so they're becoming extinct quickly. The locals don't like the wild yaks. The shaggy giants are too bad-tempered. They say that when hunting a yak, one needs to kill it with the very first shot. Otherwise, the body of the unlucky shooter will be searched for in the mountains for a very long time. Domestic yaks are another matter. They have a gentler disposition. Although the animal can still show stubbornness or get a little sensitive if it feels the load is too heavy. Other than that, there is no trouble with them. They even find their own food. Yaks are bred for milk, meat, and wool. Moreover, one simply couldn't find a better assistant for a farm. It can plow the field and transport the goods. Yaks are also used as pack and draft animals, and they can be ridden. In high-altitude off-road conditions, yaks often remain the only mode of transportation available to people. These hardy animals are capable of transporting a payload of up to 150 kilograms along steep mountain paths. These unusual animals were domesticated in the first millennium BC. Today, they aren't only used in Tibet, but also in Pamir, Mongolia, Altai, Buryatia, the Caucasus, Azerbaijan, Dagestan, Tian Shan, and China. Overall, yaks turned out to be rather useful. Sometimes they are crossbred with cows, which allows farmers to get animals with an even more obedient disposition. By the way, wild and domestic yaks are currently classified as different species. The wild yak has the Latin name Bos mutus, and its domestic counterpart is called Bos gruniens. The wild yaks are very large. They reach a height of 2 meters at the withers, and the weight of males can reach 1,000 kilograms. Females tend to be smaller, weighing up to 350 to 450 kilograms. Domestic yaks are much smaller, and their height does not exceed 1.5 to 1.6 meters. The locals call wild yaks drongs. They are forced to go higher and higher into the mountains, into the territories that aren't occupied by people. In summer, they climb to a height of up to 6,000 meters, and in the winter they descend lower and can be found at an altitude of 4,000 to 5,000 meters. Wild yaks are not only much larger than their domestic relatives, but they also differ in their behavior. They have a rather bad temper and can even pose danger to people, which is why the Tibetans don't like them. The huge size and determination of wild yaks allows them to fight wolves. If these predators decide to attack a yak, they always choose a weak or lagging individual. Moreover, wild yaks are deprived of an interesting feature inherent in their domestic relatives. They do not know how to make grunting sounds. Cold, strong winds, lack of abundant and succulent food, predators, and rarefied mountain air poor in oxygen, these are the difficulties the yaks have to face. To overcome climatic inconveniences, these animals have a long and thick coat, the excellent warming properties of which are also appreciated by people. In addition, yaks are well adapted to high-altitude air with low oxygen content. To overcome this problem, their body has enlarged lungs. Moreover, they have an increased content of hemoglobin in their blood, as compared to other large species of the same genus living on the plains. But every evolutionary advantage has to be paid for. Yaks don't feel well in low mountain conditions, and at temperatures above 15 degrees Celsius, their body overheats. They don't have sweat glands, so they are simply defenseless against high temperatures. Yaks are very unpretentious in food. Milk and meat of domestic yaks are traditionally used as food by the peoples inhabiting Tibet, Nepal, Pakistan, Bhutan, and a number of other mountainous regions of Asia, where these artiodactyls are bred. Their milk is very thick and fatty. Therefore, it is an excellent product with good nutritional properties. In addition to the milk itself, cheeses and sour milk products made from yak milk are widespread in the local diet. Yak wool is used to make clothes, blankets, and other household items. The grunting bull is an amazing animal. People manage to tame and domesticate it, but the yak is still a mountain animal that longs for its native landscapes, where it feels most comfortable. Watching the mighty shaggy bull walk along a narrow mountain path at a great height, people are amazed at how gracefully, without a shadow of fear, it balances over the abyss. These beautiful animals love mountain heights so much that it is almost impossible to see them at the foot of the mountain. By the way, when wild yaks come across a person, they attack them without hesitation. Fortunately, at an altitude of 6,000 meters, where they spend most of their lives, such encounters are extremely rare. Most people cannot go that high up in the mountains due to the lack of oxygen. Domestic yaks also prefer to stay away from people and feel much calmer next to their own kind. In the wild, yaks live in herds of 10 to 100 animals, which consist of a large number of females and several males. Males compete with each other for dominance in the herd. During winter, yaks are able to get their own food, while other artiodactyls cannot graze in the frozen soil. Their favorite delicacy is undersized plants. Their thin lips are very mobile, which allow them to eat normally even during the coldest winters. The yak's diet consists of grass, lichens, moss, young shoots, and leaves of plants. When females feed their young, they need enhanced nutrition, because if the baby doesn't get enough milk, it will not be able to develop properly and will grow up weak. The mating season for the yaks occurs in September. Pregnancy lasts 9 months and ends with the birth of one calf. The female gives birth once every 2 years. The mother takes care of the calf until it reaches the age of 1 year, after which the young animal becomes independent. Although the young yak becomes independent early in its life, it will not reach adult size until 7 or 8 years after birth. Yaks can live up to 20 years in the wild, while domesticated yaks can live several years longer. So, that's all for today, friends. Share your thoughts about this episode in the comments, and let us know if you've ever seen a live yak. Hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.